It's time we all get into shape. We're going to turn that flab into muscle. For the next hour and a half, we're going to do an intense workout. This is our bodybuilding episode of Attack of the Killer podcast.
What?
Oh, wait. Wait, that's not right. What are we doing?
Sorta.
Oh, we're doing more Frankenstein movies. Oh, bodybuilding. I get it.
Building bodies.
Oh, Jesus.
Attention planet Earth and beyond. Stay tuned for Attack of the Killer Podcast. 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 That's time for the show. Yay.
What?
Hello and welcome to another electrifying episode of Attack of the Killer podcast. This is number 354. 353 episodes. That's what I said. 353 episodes. Before you know it, it'll be 354.
I know. Right around the corner.
We are going to be discussing today Frankenstein movies. Yes, even more Frankenstein movies. When was the last time we did Frankenstein? I didn't feel like it was that too long ago, was it?
Well, if I knew that question was coming,
I just thought of it.
I've almost got the answer.
Yeah, because you're good like that. You are the vast knowledge of all the episodes.
318, we did other Frankensteins.
Yeah, and this is more other Frankensteins.
More other Frankensteins.
But it's topical this time.
Yeah.
Because of one of the movies we're going to be talking about. Now, if this is the first time you've heard us, Attack of the Killer podcast is a horror movie podcast where a group of friends get together with a topic and discuss films within that topic. We're all just friends hanging out, talking horror movies, so there may be spoilers. If you like the show, may I interest you in a size Patreon? All the money you donate goes right back into the production of the show. When you do donate, you become part of the Killer Podcast family that we call the Attackers. As an Attacker, you get all kinds of perks and extra content, such as our bonus episode. Our next upcoming bonus episode, we're going to be talking about even more Frankensteins. We're going to be talking about who would we love to see direct a Frankenstein movie, and who would they cast as the monster? It sounds cool, huh? Well, you can check it out next week if you become an Attacker today. And there's so much more you can get, like YouTube shows or membership card, certificate, original artwork called Mikey's Monsters, your own t-shirt. You can even get shout-outs on the show like these amazing Attackers right here.
That's right. Like Timothy Lennerer, Roman Doppelfeld, Larry Watanabe, Brett J. Royer. I'm also not going to do this in one voice, one breath, because screw that guy. Speaking of, Brian's not here. He's on assignment. Just wanted to just get that out there. That's why I'm doing it. We got Jessica Irish, Chris Cook, Brian Gottsill, Stefan Sitter, Brandy Moore, Andrew Moeller, Rodney Dean Hutchinson Jr., Carmen DeHague, Abraham Ariano, Andrew Bentler, Casey Kelderman, Tony Miller, Mike Clayton, Rose Talashoma, Abe Kirshner, Lisa Cavalier, Holly Berg, Bill Fisher, Greg Diedrich, the impeccable Sam Lenz, Garth Jacobson, Brett White, Tiffany DeWeese, Scott Reebsman, Chris Collins, and Jacob McLaughlin.
You too can be on that list. And all you got to do is go to jointheattackers.com and pick the tier that you want to get the bonus content you want. Again, that's jointheattackers.com. Go there and become an Attacker today. And now, that moment you've all been waiting for, it's time to introduce you to the podcast crew. He helped Dr. Frankenstein get a job at his company. The good doctor was really excited to get a job in human resources. Jason.
I liked it. It's not often that I like it. Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Really glad you're here.
Speaking of jobs, he recently hired Igor because he had a good hunch about him. Tad.
Hey, sorry about that.
Always apologizing.
And
Someone
yes,
has to.
And yes, Brian is not here this episode. He is hard at work building his own Frankenstein monster.
That's
so
right.
we'll see how that goes. I'm assuming it's going to go well.
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
That's right. And now it's time to turn it over to Tad to find out what the podcast crew has been watching in their spare time. Here's Tad with What We Watched.
Well, we're officially transitioning from that spooky season into, oh shit, the year-end episode's coming up, and we got to cram as much new stuff in. So, Jason, what have you watched?
I'm continuing on it. Welcome to Derry, loving it. Episode 4, I think, is the last one out when this is recorded. Loving it. Tiffany and I just finished also the 4th season of The Morning Show, which is fantastic. Fantastic. And then I got to watch 4 more for this later this episode, but 3 more for what we watched from 2025. We cramming them in, as we do for the year-end top 10 episode. That's right. First one, really excited to check it out. I don't read, so Stephen King stuff is all new to me when it's in a movie form. So the premise seemed neat. I didn't know much about it other than a bunch of kids go on a long walk. I watched The Long Walk. It was awesome.
I've heard it's pretty devastating.
It's yeah. I mean, yeah. It's wonderful. Yeah. It's a crazy new world, and I don't have to tell you, do I? Y'all know what it's about?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's getting watched in the next 5 days. So.
Oh, good. Yeah. It's a crazy mixed up future, and 50 boys are chosen in a lottery system to appease the government and go on a long walk, and the last one standing gets whatever wish he wants, and it can come true. And there are rules. You can't slow down under 3 miles an hour. You can't. If you do, you got to walk a mile to earn off your point, and you get 3 points, and then I forgot what they call it.
So it's like Speed without the bus?
It's almost exactly like that. But and they get killed on the walk. If you break enough of the rules, or you stop for so many seconds or whatever, then yeah, you get handed your release from this game. And then so you start with 50 kids, and you'll love it for it really is a small cast. You're not gonna,
Sure.
and one location, really, you're just on the road.
Yeah.
So it's just a character study. It's strangers becoming friends. There's good kids, there's bad kids, you just learning all their stories in this hour and a half, and it's heavy.
No spoiler, but they do play I'm Gonna Be by the Proclaimers at some point, right?
No, smartass.
Imagine that's in the opening credits and everybody's smiling.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, really good. It's really good.
I've heard it's not at the level of the Mist ending, but still very dark and sad, heavy.
Well, I mean, it has to be because of what it is.
Right.
49 kids are going to die, and that's just sad. Because of this world that this future that, oh man, there's a lot of political stuff too in it, which is also depressing and sad. I also watched The Astronaut.
I've heard
with
things about
Kate
this. Not
Mara
much.
and Lawrence Fishburne, and after returning from her first space mission, astronaut Sam is placed under NASA's care at a high-security house for rehabilitation and medical testing. However, when disturbing occurrences begin happening around the property, she fears that something extraterrestrial has followed her back to Earth. Yeah, that's pretty good. It was all right. It was all right. I gave it 2 stars, so maybe it wasn't that good. And then Tiff and I tried to warn her, but man, I fucking loved it. Good Boy. Finally watched Good Boy.
Yeah.
And what a great freaking premise for how to tell a story, man. Unbelievable.
Did they get you in the end? Like, did you expect it?
No.
No spoilers?
No, but it was, the cinematography was outstanding for being what I assume is a very low budget film. Just the editing and the shots were just so good. That dog is an amazing actor.
Did they include the little post credit thing at home on the home release?
Oh man, this dang memory of mine.
You would know because it's like immediately after the credits they show how it was made and they talk about the dog.
Oh no, that was not.
Man, that makes sense because they said like thank you so much for seeing this in the theaters and that wouldn't make sense at home, but it was so great and Brian talked a little bit about it when we both saw it in theaters and it showed that like the owner directed the movie, the dog's owner, and him and his wife, and so like and he plays the lead. And they just shot it in their house, like starting during the pandemic, and just basically like used dog toys, and filmed a shit ton of footage of the dog, and then just cut where he would look like very inquisitive or very scared, or use music. It's like really the dog was like behind the camera, the guy's like good boy, and like squeaking a toy, and then on camera it looks like he's mortified of a monster.
Fuck yeah, dude, it's awesome, and Mike, when you see it, you'll appreciate just the hell out of it because. They always cut on the dog. They always do a reverse, like the dog's up close looking at the camera and you see him move, but then they cut to the dog from the other way doing the thing, and it just feels so well done. That's amazing that it was just done that way. I assume that like the music and the lighting and all that helps set the mood because it's probably, as with a lot of movies, there's probably just bullshit happening just 5 feet that way, you know. So
it's so cool, like that. It had to take a lot of practice and skill to like never really show the lead actor's face.
Oh, that was so cool too.
Right, you just don't know what he looks like because it's from the dog's POV, and it's like always out of focus or always above his like
almost
peripheral.
The whole movie.
Yeah.
No human was really. I mean, it was blurry, and it just wasn't important to the story, so they didn't show it.
Yeah,
and a little bit of Larry Fessenden doesn't hurt anything.
right.
That's always fun to see him doing something else cool, and that's what I watched.
All right, Mike, how about you?
Okay, well, starting off, I watched a film from 2010. Okay, let me back it up here just a minute.
To 2010.
Yes, let's go back in time to 2010. Not too long ago in town, they had at the Bridgeview Center, they had a big book sale, and they had like
Pennies
2
for
or 3
pages.
tables, a ton of DVDs, and we went on Fill the Bag Day. So it's just free grab. It doesn't matter at that point. Just grab it and throw it in a bag because you're getting charged the same amount anyway.
Might as well fill it up.
That's right. So I snagged 2010's Spy Next Door with Jackie Chan.
Okay.
Yeah. And now I am a Jackie Chan
It's
fan.
quite a soft spot.
Yeah. Later Jackie Chan now. And now then this is starting to feel like we're getting into like later Dolph Lundgren film career days, stuff like that. I mean, case in point, the film also has George Lopez and Billy Ray Cyrus, if that tells you anything. Basically, he's like this uber spy who really kind of has no sense of what real life is like outside of the spy world. And he falls in love with this mom with 3 kids, and they're going to get married, but he's got this secret, and the kids hate him, and blah, blah, blah. We've seen that plot a billion times before, right? This is directed by Brian Levant, who directed such classics as Jingle All the Way, Beethoven, the movie about the dog, Are We There Yet? And Problem Child 2. So you think he would know how to direct children and main characters who don't speak English very well. But you don't get that in this movie. It is like, Jackie Chan has no charisma with these children whatsoever. These are some of the worst child acting I've ever seen. It's a matter of holding out for those fun little Jackie Chan stunt moments. And there are a few. He's getting older, so it's fewer and far between, and doing some more easy stuff that you've seen him do over and over and over again. But it's still always great to see his gracefulness and some of those like ballerina style action sequences of his. So it's kind of fun, but it's definitely not what Jackie Chan used to be. Anyway. Then I watched the new Hell House LLC Lineage, so I can check that off on my 2025 list. Definitely not going to make the top 10.
I was gonna say, no.
I think I'm only at like 25 movies so far, and it definitely wouldn't even make the top 25.
Yeah.
I will watch more, so I don't have to count that one. Got it.
Yes,
Jeez.
don't bother.
Thanks for telling me, though.
And I love the series. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I've loved all of these up to this point. I mean,
That's
the
why
last
this one sucks so much, because they've been so much fun.
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem, and I'm not saying it's a deal breaker when they do something like this, but to completely change the style of the whole movie, and I know you've talked about it before, Ted, when you saw it, but going from a documentary style or found footage style to go to a straight narrative type of film is really jarring. Now, it's worked in other films in the past, like when Rec did it with the, what was that, 3 that took place at the wedding? And it went from and they actually transitioned in the movie from found footage style to a narrative film, and it worked great, and that movie was awesome. But this almost felt like some made for Lifetime movie kind of quality of filmmaking. It was just boring. It was confusing. I think you also talked about this before, Tad, as well, on how they expect you to know the entire lore going into this movie. There's hardly any exposition on any of it. They just expect you to know it. And as a guy who's seen the first film multiple times and has seen all the films in the franchise, I was lost at several moments.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely they biffed this one.
Yeah, and then it doesn't help that, I think it was the producer, when it hit theaters, he was on social media just bitching that, not enough theaters are playing it. Demand it from your theater. And then people are going and not liking it. And he's like, stop leaving us negative reviews. Even if you haven't seen it, go leave a positive one to negate the negative reviews. And it's like, oh my God, shut up. Maybe make a good movie next time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No shit. I saw another movie from this year. Not a horror movie though. This time, I watched Honey Don't. Have you seen that one yet?
No, but I want to. Cohen. Not Coen Brothers, but Ethan?
It's Ethan. Yeah, Ethan. It's got, what's her name? Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, Chris Evans, Charlie Day, who's probably my favorite part of the movie. I didn't like it, though.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. How do you fumble Cohen with 2 hot chicks and Charlie Day? I haven't seen it, but goddamn, it has all the ingredients.
Well, let this statement confuse you even more. It feels like they tried too hard to make it feel like a Coen Brothers film. The characters, it's got the quirky characters and all that stuff. However, this one, it just feels really forced, and it's not very interesting. My biggest problem with this movie, though, is the story shifts towards the end. I'm not going to give any spoilers, so don't worry. But the mystery that's going on in this, when it's solved, it leaves the majority of the first half of the movie up in the air. Everything that happens in the first half of the movie is utterly pointless by the time you get to the end. And I'm like, why did I waste my time with all that other knowledge? So, yeah. Did not like it. And I'm usually a Coen Brothers fan as well, so. And I believe that they can work separately. They have before and still put out good stuff. And then the last one I'll say, I'll bring up, I'll just keep it brief, going to save it for the year ender, but I did finally get around to Megan 2.0.
All right.
Loved it.
Oh, good.
That's all I got. So, Tad, what have you watched?
So much, you guys. Let me
You're
pull
doing
it up
two at a
here.
time nowadays.
I know.
Crazy.
I watched John Candy. I Like Me. Holy shit, fantastic! I
Nice.
loved it.
Too scared still. Too scared.
Oh my gosh, I cried for sure, but it is so good and like I'm getting goosebumps right now. And this is not. I'm not going to spoil anything. I want to talk about it so much, but like Macaulay Culkin talking about him and about how one thing it's hilarious because he goes, he does his typical Macaulay thing and he goes, just to make everyone feel really old, I'm older than John Candy was now in Uncle Buck.
Oh, shit.
But he talks about how like John Candy would like pull him to the side and would ask him like, everything good at home, everything okay with you, and like looking out for him when things were not good for him. And he's like, he's the only adult that did that in the business. And he's like, it was great because John Candy, he was like a big kid, but he also treated all the kids like they were adults, if that makes sense. He would be like, when it came to acting, he would like treat them like his equals. Like they weren't just kid actors, they were actors. And just hearing, so I knew about his SCTV and his, coming up. I had no idea he owned like a football team or something. Was it? There's just so much in here I learned about his childhood and stuff, but utterly fantastic. Don't be afraid, Mike. Just watch it. It's so good.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna be a mess.
The next thing I saw, and this is where I did 2 double features in the theater in 1 week because it was my birthday week, and that's, if you ask me what I want to do, it's not be around people, it's go sit in a movie theater. So I left work early the day before my birthday and saw Bugonia, which is have you seen it, Jason?
No, I'm dying to.
So good.
Stone.
Yeah, Yorgos Lanthimos' new movie. He cranks one out every 6 months apparently. He just grabs Emma Stone. She goes home for like 2 weeks, and then he's like, "Hey, time to make another movie." This is so weird because like it has all the ingredients of a Yorgos movie, but it's the most normal Yorgos movie. It's so weird, but it's like it's linear and it makes sense, and it takes place in the real world. And do you guys know anything about the story?
Nope, just what.
Not
little
really. I've
seen.
just seen trailers.
So yeah, it has Meth Damon, Jesse Plemons, Emma Stone, and that's pretty much the cast. But Jesse Plemons and his cousin, who's Don, who's played by Aidan Delbus, they're both like, it's a big reflection on sort of how things are right now, but they play these 2 conspiracy theorists who are absolutely convinced that the rich people are like lizard people, aliens from another planet. So they conspire to kidnap Emma Stone, who's like the CEO of this big tech company that's like pharmaceuticals, alternative medicine type thing. And they kidnap her and try to get her to confess to being an alien. And that's the whole plot of the movie, and it takes place in one room. So Mike would like it because there's 3 cast members and it's in one room. But I will not go for any further than that because you don't need it. That's all you need. And then right after that, I walked out of the theater and walked down and saw Predator Badlands.
Oh,
And I wish Brian was here. I don't know if he's seen it. I need to check his letterbox to see if he's seen it. I am so torn on this one.
Uh-oh.
Part of me really liked it as just a movie, but man, it was hard to like. The tone switch from Prey to this is so weird, because you went from like primitive, him hunting a Native American to this is in the future, and it's like a buddy cop movie. He like carries one of the Fanning sisters around like a backpack, and she's a torn in half robot. And it's like a comic. She's the comic relief, and then the main predator is like the like grumpy like cop. He's like carrying her around, and she won't stop talking, and he's like, "Oh brother, stop talking, you droid." And she's like, "You need me because I know all about this land." And he's like, "Okay," throws her over his shoulder, and it's very
Too old for
Disney.
this shit.
Yeah, it's very Disney-ish. Like the predator is like he just walks around like a person. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I liked the movie, but as a Predator movie, it's so weird. I see a lot of people criticizing. They're like, they neutered the Predator and blah blah blah, and because it doesn't come off as like this awesome killing machine. He like talks the whole fucking movie, never shuts the fuck up. It's really weird. But I'd recommend checking it out. It just was not what I expected, and I should have from the trailer. The next double feature I did was The Running Man, which is funny. I should have figured out a way to see The Running Man and the Long Walk or whatever together. So anyone who listens to the show or has ever been within 20 feet of me knows that Edgar Wright is, my love. I think his streak ended here, guys. I'm sorry. Like, to me, he had the perfect record. Everything from Spaced up to Last Night in Soho has been, to me, like pitch perfect. I've loved everything. And this one does not feel like an Edgar Wright movie. He did not put his stamp on it enough for me, and that's what I felt like. It hurt. It was like, it is a fine, perfectly fine movie, but it felt like even Ant-Man that he did not direct felt more like an Edgar Wright movie than this. There was just nothing. If you didn't tell me Edgar Wright directed this, I would have no idea. There's just none of his signature stamps on it. It's just another very generic action movie with Glenn Powell. There's just stuff that I'm like, why is he making these choices? Like, there's a scene where he's like out in a balcony and his towel gets taken off, and it's like, ooh, hot naked Glenn Powell sweaty out in the banister, and it's like, what is this? It's just not funny. I just didn't love it. I wanted to. Sorry, Edgar. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a great Edgar Wright movie. So disappointed with that. And then I went into Keeper, which is the new Osgood Perkins movie.
Oh.
That was very jarring because you went from Running Man, which is like action from the time the logo comes on until after the credits, into a movie where you get no story. Like you have no idea what's going on until like minute 80 of the 90-minute movie. Which if you don't like slow burns, you're going to fucking hate this one. But again, it's literally two characters in a cabin. The story of this is like this guy and his newish girlfriend go take their first trip together in this cabin in the middle of the woods, and she starts seeing weird shit, and it's not explained. And it's a dark horror. It's 100% serious. Unlike The Monkey, it definitely had more of the Gretel and Hansel feel, especially cinematography, which I'm like, I like that he can sort of get away from the humor of The Monkey, or even Longlegs had a little bit of weird sort of humor in it. This is very dark, very serious, and some really cool visuals at the end. I definitely recommend checking that one out. And like I said, it's only 99 minutes. Fantastic little movie. And this guy, again, just like we got Yorgos, this guy, Osgood's, the trailer for The Keeper played at the end of The Monkey. He's got two new horror movies in 2025. Pretty incredible. The next movie I watched, The Farmer and the Shark. Really recommend this. It's only a little over an hour long. It's a new documentary about Jaws, but not really about Jaws.
Oh yeah.
It's about Craig Kingsbury, who was brought onto the film by Spielberg for Quint. Like, he was inspiration for Quint. This guy looks like a real life Quint. He had the bent bill, the sideburns, the tan, the scars. This guy was a jack of all trades, and Spielberg like, I want Quint to be this guy. Well, Spielberg became so fascinated with him, he ended up giving him a role as like a fisherman in the movie, and his head is the one that pops out of the boat in the movie. But basically they started making this documentary about the extras for this in Martha's Vineyard, and then it turns out that it really just ended up like, oh, this guy's life was so fascinating that we're just going to make this whole documentary about him. And it's so cool, like this guy's story, and he's like the most interesting man in the world, literally. Like, he's not a character. Like, this guy's life, he's done everything and anything, and really cool. I would say watch it, but you can't watch it anywhere unless you get a time machine and come to the Capitol Theater. And then I think that is all I've watched. Yeah, that's what I've watched.
Sweet. Thanks, Tad. Okay, now it's time to get down to the nuts and bolts of this episode. So we're going to talk about some more Frankenstein movies.
Yay.
Tad, what's our first one?
Our first one is Poor Things.
This is Bella. Bella, this is Mr. McCandles.
Hello, Bella.
She's an experiment.
Good evening.
Her brain and her body are not quite synchronized. But she's progressing at an accelerated pace.
Tell me, where did she come from?
I shall. For it is a happy tale.
I am Bella Baxter, and there is a world to enjoy, circumnavigate. It is the goal of all to progress, grow.
A woman plotting her course to freedom. How delightful.
Oh.
I just love that weird ass score. After being resurrected by a delightfully unhinged scientist, Bella Baxter bolts into the world and begins enthusiastically sampling every pleasure it offers, especially the naked ones. As she ricochets across Europe in a haze of curiosity, chaos, and questionable lovers, everybody else is left wondering whether science has gone too far or not far enough. This is directed again by Yorgos Lanthimos. What a stellar cast. We have Emma Stone as Bella, Willem Dafoe as God, Mark Ruffalo as Duncan, and we have Rami Youssef as Max. I saw this movie in theaters. I saw it when it came on demand, and I watched it again this week. And as much as my wife hates it, I love this movie. I think it's so gorgeous. The cinematography alone, you could watch it on mute. It's fucking beautiful. And then all the cinematography choices are so unique and really swing for the fences. The acting is so good. The writing is so good. The score, again, like, what the hell, is so fantastic. This movie makes you like think what the fuck, but it's not hard to follow. It's, you know, I've heard people be like, oh, it's like David Lynch style. I'm like, it's not like David Lynch. It's a linear story that makes sense. It just looks very weird. But essentially Emma Stone plays Frankenstein's monster, and Willem Dafoe plays Frankenstein's doctor. And he comes upon, I mean, we're talking spoilers. A pregnant woman jumps off a bridge. He finds her. He takes the baby out of her and puts the baby's brain into Emma Stone's head. And she develops at a much faster speed than a normal baby. But sort of experiencing, you get to follow along as she like ages. Does he ever mention like how many years, how advanced she ages? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But she ages very quickly, like matures very quickly, and her hair grows extremely fast. But what a unique movie. It's very interesting. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts, because like when it came out, it was celebrated as like a feminist movie, and it won all kinds of awards, including Emma Stone, who won an Oscar for Best Actress. It was up for like Best Score, Best Cinematography, Best Director. It was up for everything. But then like I watched it with Nikki, and she's like, this is a pedophile movie. So, because all the guys are trying to fuck the child. What do you guys think?
Oh, you jerk.
That was me. How are we supposed to follow that?
So you guys like the pedophile movie,
now.
right?
Yeah. Next movie.
Jason.
That is, it's not about fucking kids. It's about how women are looked at from a couple different ways. Between Mark Ruffalo's character is more of the lusty kind, and the Rami one, it's more feelings and love and how fucking hard it is for women. It is feminist in that way. It points out all the shit that women have to deal with.
And she
About
takes
fucking
total
baby.
control over all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, she has no qualms about becoming a prostitute. You know,
She doesn't have
she
any
needs
of the
money and she
hang-ups.
likes sex. What's the problem?
Because she's developing it the way she is. She doesn't have any of society's hang-ups, any of those social norms she doesn't have. And this is what could happen if that could happen. I mean, I love like you said, the cinematography. I love that it emulates how kids might perceive the world. When I think about being a kid, fuck yeah, those skies were as big as it could be. This movie shot with such wide angle lenses that, like it's big and beautiful and crazy and doesn't make sense because you're a kid, and the movie emulates that. It's brilliant for that. When I first watched it, I had hang-ups because I couldn't let go of my social norms, and I just felt bad for Rami's character, Max McCandles. I was just like, oh, she's being mean. And it was tough.
Yeah.
But like, once it's over and I think about it, God, it's like it's so smart. And yeah, Willem Dafoe being God. There were times I had a hard time with Mark Ruffalo's performance. I mean, he was hilarious, but it was like too much sometimes. I don't know. That was my biggest trouble with this one, but yeah, no, it's brilliant. I loved it. It's wild.
What's her
Is
name
this the
again?
first time watching? For
Oh,
you?
no, I've seen it before.
What's her name? Bella.
Bella Baxter, Emma Stone.
Oh, they need to say it more in the movie. I couldn't.
Oh, I loved the whole Stella, Bella. Yeah. Bella Baxter. It's a fun name to say too, in the way she says it. Bella Baxter.
I liked it. The visuals, yes, it's very awesome. The cinematography is great. I just love the whole look of the world. I am a guy who doesn't care too much for period pieces, but this movie puts it in its own time zone. There's like
There's no period that
Yeah, it is its own thing. I mean, it looks in some respects it looks Victorian, but yet there's like
future stuff,
flying cars and shit. So I really appreciate it for that. My favorite visuals are the hybrid pets that are running around, like the duck with the pug for a head. Yeah, he's my favorite. He's so cute.
So
I
cool.
want one.
I know.
And I feel like William Dafoe's makeup is amazing. Every time he was on screen, I just kept staring at that makeup. It just looked, there's so much depth to it, and it just looks so cool. And so, like, you just want to know more of the history on why his face looks like that. I mean, you get a lot of his history when he talks about his father, and you assume that his facial scars come from that, because his dad did not sound like a great person. And just the relationship between Bella and God was just so charming, and it could have gone sour. He's called God in the movie. Obviously, he's got a God complex, and Bella is his creation, and so how possessive is he? And at first, you think that's where it's going to go. He's like being overly possessive of her, overly protective of her. But then he just lets her go and explore the world. And when, she comes back, there's like no hard feelings. It's like kind of they pick, of course he's, sick at that point, but there's just a love between them that is great and unspoken. I'm with you, Jason. I think Mark Ruffalo is hilarious, but can be rather annoying over an extended period of time in some scenes.
More than just his character. I just some of his deliveries and stuff, I'm just like, all right. All right.
But yeah, all the performances are great. I did not realize she won. She won or was nominated for Best
She
Actress.
won,
She
man.
won.
That's freaking
What
awesome.
a fearless performance.
Well,
What
yeah.
an amazing.
That's that goes without saying. Like 50% of her performance is having sex, and you get to see all the glory.
and
But
she's an A-list actress.
Yeah.
You know, like
but I
amazing
mean,
to.
such a deserved because you watch her growth, her transition from barely. And one of my favorite things about her growth is watching her physical performance and how she can barely walk like a upright baby for the first time to just walking like just a normal with such grace and control of the environment as she just kind of walks back into the doctor's house and how the physical side of her performance as well as her dialogue and stuff, it's such a growth. It's so subtle. It's not like a night and day thing. You just watch it progress, which I feel like is kind of the intent, but I still want to say that the movie's too long.
But you know, movies are shot out of order. How hard?
Oh, that had to
keep
be.
all
Yeah,
that.
keep that straight. Oh yeah, good on her.
it's just-
Yeah.
Too long. What?
I feel like some of the stuff got really repetitive. There was several moments where I'm like, okay, I get it. She likes
221.
to fuck. All right, I get it. I felt like I was just getting fed the same information over and over and over again at certain points throughout the movie, and so I just feel like maybe it could have been tightened up a little bit more. Tad, you nailed it. The score is awesome. I love quirky scores like this. Just the off key of some of that, and just love it. This goes up there with the Greasy Strangler. It's like one of the greatest scores of all time.
The composer is Jerskin Fendrix. He had never
made
done
that
a.
up.
He'd never done a score before. He's like a
That's your
English
porn name.
composer and musician, and now he's done the last 3
Good for
Yorgos films. So
And there is a lot of great, very well written dialogue. Probably one of my favorite scenes in the film is after she comes back to the house, and right before, is it Max? Is the guy that is in love with her?
Yes.
Okay. Her and Max just going for that walk by the little pond or whatever, right before they kind of propose to each other. I just love that dialogue, how she's just so matter of fact about what is the purpose of your feelings towards me, and how he can just matter of factly explain it, that it's not lustful, it's heartful or whatever he says. See, that's why it's written so well. I can't even repeat it. So I really appreciate for that. And maybe it's just the stuff with Mark Ruffalo makes the movie feel way too long. I love watching him break down, and I was laughing my ass off in that scene when Max visited him in the insane asylum. It was so freaking funny, but then it just kind of goes on and on and on in a lot of his scenes.
my favorite stuff is like, when she is oblivious to why Mark Ruffalo's character is getting mad, and she just keeps going on and on and on, and every time they see each other, and he's so miserable. And then the culmination is that he's in a mental institute, and I also like Defoe's character of like how little by little over the course of the film we find out how dark his upbringing was, and why can't you burp? Because my dad did this experiment. Now I have to like belch these like bubbles, make my own gas. Why is this so? Because my dad wanted to see if that would hurt, or, just little things, but he's just so matter of fact because he's a scientist. He's not putting feelings to it. He doesn't blame his dad. He's like, Dad experimented and this is what happened. And, Mm-hmm. But it does. I've seen it twice, and I still was like, at some point, I sort of can agree with you being a little long, because towards the end, I'm like, she still has to like find her original husband has to find her. She gets to the house. They have that whole dramatic scene. She leaves and goes back, and I'm like, God damn, we're just at the whorehouse now. And they spend a little too much time there. And like,
Yes.
when
That
when
was
they
definitely one of those moments. Yeah.
when the boat, lands, and it's, I'm not saying I don't want more naked Emma Stone, but I'm saying, like, how many weird freaks can she fuck for like an hour, especially when she's like doing it in front of the kids? That's weird.
Yeah.
Or the guy who's like crawling and has like the melted face. I get it, because she's just sort of like, it shows like she's not so caught up with society that she like sees these ugly people and won't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. She doesn't realize her own beauty, that kind of stuff. But, people take advantage of that. I don't know. I loved seeing Rami in a serious role. I mean, not that he's not serious. I don't know if you guys ever actually seen his show, Rami. But it's fantastic. It's on Hulu or FX. But to see him in like a big A-list movie that was winning Oscars is really cool, because I think he's really funny and fantastic. Yeah.
Is it just me? Because I feel like this was like the greatest punchline of the whole movie right there at the end. Spoilers. But you have William Dafoe's dying, and he's pretty much dead. She has come back from her husband. Well, the other version of her's husband before she died, and he's a piece of shit, and you're led to believe they're going to do experiments on him. And am I the only one that was like, oh, they're going to put the doctor in his body and everybody's going to live happily ever after? And then it turns out they put a goat sprain in the guy, and he's just neighing and eating grass at the end of the movie. I thought that was hilarious, because it was such a I felt like that was a really purposeful misdirect for a huge punchline. Am I the only one that
No,
thought that?
I thought so too,
Super
and that's what
funny.
I love. There's a lot of really funny, quirky humor in this.
Yeah, it's very childlike, which is what I think Jason was talking about. With all the bright colors and everything, and just the beautiful, bright, colorful sky, but just in the in the comic book science of it all too. Like, who else but a small child would have the imagination to think like, oh, I can put the unborn child's brain inside the mother's body and that'll work.
Right.
But it's just
Just
it's
awesome.
just childlike and twisted enough that it does work in this movie.
Love it.
Yep.
Recommend.
Yep, definitely recommend. Bring a sandwich, but yeah, it's a long one. But what trivia do you have for this one, Tad?
There was all kinds of good stuff, but I want to get to the first one, because this one is something you would love. To shoot the hybrid animals, one of each real animal was on set, and the other half of the animal was edited in later. Emma Stone named a goose Willis, and the sheep she named Meryl Sheep. Director Yorgos Lanthimos wanted to evoke an old Hollywood feel by using painted sets. Most of the film was shot on a soundstage, but the ballroom scene was shot on location. The production designers built massive immersive sets on sound stages in Budapest for the London townhouse, the Paris Square in winter, the cruise ship, and the Lisbon streets. Due to its sheer size and scale, 170 feet long and 60 feet tall, the Lisbon street scene set needed to be erected separately at nearby Corda Studios. That set, the Lisbon set, took 20 weeks to build, and it would take 45 minutes to walk through the entire set.
Wow.
Massive.
Holy shit.
And then this one I just threw in there, and I think Brian would laugh at this one. Mark Ruffalo based his performance on Andrew Tate.
I don't know who Andrew Tate is.
He's like a influencer that is very MAGA and is like alpha male, don't respect women, fuck everything, fuck every woman, and yeah.
Oh, no wonder I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, he sucks.
Sweet.
I also read a little bit. This is just off the going off of that. Like Ruffalo read the screenplay, and Yorgos wanted him in it, and he's like, "This is not for me." And he's like, "That's why it's like perfect for you, because you're always the nice guy, the good guy in every movie, and you're gonna be like the scum here." And he was so convinced that he was gonna get fired and replaced by I'm trying to remember who it was, some other big name actor, but they were shooting on the same soundstage, and they brought him in. And as a joke, they brought him in and convinced him that like he was being let go, and then they were just fucking with him. Like he thought he was doing a terrible job, and yeah. So, anyways, next movie.
Man, wouldn't it have been ironic that if he thought he was getting fired and was going to get replaced by Ed Norton?
Huh. Yeah.
He replaced
The Hulk.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, our next film we're going to be talking about is the 1935 classic Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, sir, she's gone! The monster! He's got her!
Taking place immediately after the 1931 classic Frankenstein, this film follows Henry Frankenstein as he attempts to give up his monster-making practices, but is blackmailed by his old mentor, Dr. Pretorius. It seems old Frankie isn't dead after all, and is quite lonely and demands the doc to make him a girlfriend. The old gang is back again for this romp, directed by James Wales, and stars Colin Clive as Dr. Frankenstein again, Boris Karloff putting on the makeup once again as the monster. It's a classic, man. I might even like it more than the original.
Yeah.
I think maybe because for me, it's always, even as a kid, it's always been about the monsters, right?
Yeah.
And we get so much more of the monster in this film. He gets a lot more screen time than the original. Several scenes where it's almost like you kind of forget about the other half of the story because we're spending so much time with the monster. And the classic scene, probably one of my favorites of all the Frankenstein lore, is the scene with the monster and the blind man. It's like my favorite scene. It's been parodied, it's been redone so many times, and it's always good because you really get the monster gets a break there for a bit.
Yeah.
Here's something that kind of dawned on me watching it this time, is that the bride herself, when she appears towards the very last 10 minutes of the movie, it's called The Bride of Frankenstein. We don't even get her till the very end.
3 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, exactly. And she's never appeared in any sequels. Her character has never come up again ever.
But like the second biggest monster ever, right?
Yeah, but like it's so iconic. You would almost say like per screen time is probably like the most merchandised monster out of all of them, versus how very little she's in the one movie she's done. I kind of find that quite amazing.
That is weird.
Anyway, I love it.
Yeah, I've seen this, I don't know, realistically, probably a dozen times. And every time, I know going in, and every time I'm like, I confuse scenes from this and the original. I'm like, which part, the blind guy that they do a parody of in Young Frankenstein, I'm like, oh, that's in this one. The lonely blind guy. And it's so funny, like you said, I know that the bride is at the end, but I'm like looking at the time and I'm like, damn, they haven't even got to her yet. And the movie's almost over. and we literally just get her at the end, and like she's such an icon. I mean, Halloween costumes, merchandise, everything. What an icon, and such a thing. And I always forget how like the weird stuff in this movie too, like the little tiny people in the glass jars.
I still don't even get it. Like, how
No.
is that an experiment of bringing the dead back to life
Right.
by
He's a
shrinking
scientist.
people? I don't.
These experiments.
Wasn't he trying to say there's kind of like a black magic portion of his science or something like that? I don't know. I felt like it was an excuse to try this cool special optical effect.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we've got this.
100%.
Can we throw this in this movie? Yeah, sure. Why not?
I don't think I have this in the trivia, but I was reading through. I mean, this has like pages and pages of trivia, but I think they said they shot those like in front of black velvet and then meticulously like placed them on the film, like superimposed them to match up with like the hands and them talking and stuff. I mean, you think 1935, people probably freaked the fuck out seeing this in the theater, more so than the monsters, you know? Yeah. But I just remember the first time seeing it, I had obviously seen Frankenstein several times before I saw this one, and was like just taken back that you don't see her until the final 5 minutes, and it's 4 or 5 minutes, and then it's roll the credits, and you never, like you said, you can't say that about like any other franchise where they bring in this character and they just never. I'm amazed Universal never brought her back for any of the Bride meets Abbott and Costello or any of that stuff. It's
Wonder
crazy.
why they never brought her back though, because I don't know if she was that big of a hit in 1935. You assume so. It's just weird, You think they wanted to market the hell out of all their main monsters, but they just kind of was one and done.
Right.
I think
That's
it's
a mark.
Testament to what you said, to how good. I love the sequels that take place right after the first one, and then because of that, you're like, well, damn it, which one is in which part, which scene is in which movie. But what a also fucked up way to start this movie, which I assume you love.
With the Mary Shelley stuff?
With Mary Shelley.
Yeah. Which is also Elsa Lancaster, whatever her name is, that plays the bride. That's her. Is Mary Shelley.
What a weird fourth wall, weird ass thing.
Yeah,
and she had like red. The actress actually has like red hair. Like you've seen like color photos from the. You always just assumed it was like dark brown or black hair with a white stripe, and nope.
Probably stepping on Tad's trivia, but I had read that the movie feels like it has such an abrupt ending. Just right there, Elizabeth and Dr. Frankenstein, they're away, they're safe. The place blew up, they hug, and then the end. But apparently there was supposed to be another little tag at the end with Mary Shelley, cutting back to Mary Shelley, wrapping things up there by the fire.
Yeah,
I can't remember if they filmed it and scrapped it, or if they just didn't even shoot it. I don't remember.
This one's so great because you just get so much more Frank. Mm-hmm. He's just so good, and Boris gets to spend time doing more and being Frankenstein's monster more. I think he said that in this movie he kept his denture things in where he didn't in the first one, to help fill out his face a little more, so it's a little different. But
because he took.
Now
him
you're
out
stepping on my.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. No, go ahead. Keep talking.
I was just gonna say that, like, in the first film, he took those dentures out and it gave him that sunken cheekbones, which is super cool. Left him in this time because they made him talk, and he didn't want the monster to talk.
He refused it for so long, and he's like, well, at least I'll.
He protested against the decision to make the monster speak, but was overruled. And since it was required to speak in the film, he was not able to remove his bridge work, as he had done to help give him the sunken cheek appearance in the first movie. So that's why he seems a little more full in the face. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I loved it. It's most people's one of their favorite Universal monsters. We're gonna have to get word from Brian on the next episode on. You were saying it's one of his least favorites. So that's weird.
He's Brian. So
Oh, Brian, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Never know with that guy. I assume it's just like the. I guess I don't want to assume, but the title character isn't really there. There isn't.
Yeah.
Does it further the story? It's just it's another version of the first one, really. And
well, I've heard. I never had thought of this, but people are like, is the title referencing the Bride of the Monster or the Bride of Dr. Frankenstein?
It's a good point.
Never thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I assumed the monster.
Well,
think we
we
all
all
do,
do. Yeah.
And even the trailers was like, the monster meets his bride. And
But it's not called the Bride of Frankenstein's monster.
well, I love this one. Another big recommend. Big fan.
of course, I would assume anyone listening to the show has seen it.
Yeah.
But if not, let's do a first-time podcast on it.
All right. Let's all sit back and relax and enjoy the next hour of trivia with Ted.
Hey,
on
what's
this
left?
one.
I don't have a whole lot because there's so much on this. And I try to narrow it down to 3 interesting things. I already mentioned the one about the monster speaking. Cinematographer John Mescal's drinking had become so problematic that the studio had to provide a car just to get him safely to and from the set. James Whale liked that he worked fast and rarely wasted time fussing with incidental camera and lighting hardware. And he was still very good at his job, even when drunk, so he fought to keep him.
Is it just me, knowing that now, is it just me? Does it feel like there is some inconsistencies with the cinematography in this film?
Oh, yeah.
Biggest case in point is when they are bringing the bride back to life, there is back and forth close-up shots of some really cool ghostly, creepy images of close-up shots of Frankenstein and Dr. Pretorius's faces during that, which kind of does it. They're really cool looking because there's like super shadows on their faces, and they both just look so freaking monstrous and evil. But it doesn't the lighting and none of that matches the rest of the wider shots of any of it as well, and that kind of feels like it's throughout a lot of the movie, where there's just a lot of inconsistencies even within the same scene.
But I always chalk that up to being like, when I watch it, I'm like, it's 1935, and they
Oh,
were
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
this
yeah.
movie would be, we're 90 years now, 90 years ago, this filmed. It's incredible that, watching like just my Blu-ray and watching how they restored this thing, it's so cool that we've got this crystal clear 90-year-old film, and this makeup was possible then, and it's like a freaking miracle this thing exists,
Yeah, just a matter of like less than 5-6 years ago, we have Dracula, where they basically just set up a camera and did a stage play in front of it. So any
more trivia.
What's that?
Or asking me more trivia.
Oh yeah, more trivia.
One more I thought was
Okay.
pretty interesting. Ella Lanchester
That's her name. Yeah.
said that her spitting, hissing performance was inspired by the swans in Regent Park, London. She said they're really very nasty creatures. She said so. She based her character on swans.
That makes sense. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the trivia, Jason. What's our next movie?
Our next movie is brand new. What? And you can watch it on Netflix. It is called, it's a really weird name for this episode, but this movie's called Frankenstein.
I had determined that the memory of my evils should die with me. Some of what I will tell you is fact. Some is not. But it is all true. What manner of creature is that? What manner of devil made him? I did. I had a vision.
inevitable, unavoidable, until it became truth. In seeking life, I created death.
Today we're talking Guillermo del Toro's gorgeously gloomy grand-scale Frankenstein, a film I absolutely adored. Now, I've never read Mary Shelley's book. I'm not exactly a curl-up-with-a-classic kind of guy, but this movie feels wonderfully, weirdly, and wholeheartedly faithful to the spirit of the original. Oscar Isaac gives us a feverish, frazzled Victor Frankenstein, while Jacob Elordi's creature is a towering, tragic tapestry of pain and pathos, more poetic than monstrous. Del Toro drenches every frame in his signature blend of beauty and brutality, crafting a story that's equal parts haunting, heartfelt, and heartbreakingly human. It's a film that doesn't just reanimate a legend, it resurrects the soul of the story itself, and I loved every freaking frame of it. Gosh dang, this was so good. Good to see Del Toro back at it. You hear it in the trailer. The score is so good. I just loved it, man. And again, like I said, I don't know the book, but it felt like it had all the things in there. And I know it was 2.5 hours, so I was probably going to get the too long thing again. I don't know, but I could have done another 2. It was just great. Yeah. What'd you guys think?
Fantastic.
Hell
Beautiful. Gorgeous. I mean, I feel like it's exactly what I expected, which is not a bad thing, but it's like Del Toro's directing a Frankenstein film. This is what you have in mind. Like, you sort of know that going in, but that can play against him because you have such high expectations.
Sure.
And I've never read the book either, so I don't know. I keep seeing people say, and I'm sure Brian has read it 4 times, so we'll hear from him. But yeah, I imagine, and from what I hear, this seems more true to it. And it's interesting. This always comes up, but it's like we think about the Universal monsters because they're so iconic in the first and most out there, most available versions of each character. So we think of Frankenstein as the guy, the tall forehead and exactly like that. And then I've seen a lot of like memes about Jacob Elordi's Frankenstein. And it's like, well, this is probably, I don't know, more accurate to what was in the novel. Again, not reading it, but, the beginning, the opening scene alone is fucking awesome. Like, it kicks it off right away with them. The monster just kicks ass. Like, we never saw Frankenstein like this before. He's a big, hulking, scary motherfucker. I love that, over the course of the movie, he learns just as he would, and it's interesting to watch them. Like, we watched a classic, we watched a very weird take on it, and then we watched a new take on it. I feel like we're going to see adaptations of Frankenstein until we're long in the ground, and then there'll still be more after that. And Del Toro shows that there's still, no pun intended, life in that story. It's like you can somehow still make it again and make it different enough, but also, I don't know, like it's its own monster, but it's truly his, and it's like, it's really hard to like think of anybody else who'd be more perfect for this. Like, he is the grown adult monster kid,
with
and
the gothic flair that
Yes.
this has. And
yes, and that time period, and just the casting is great, and he's just knows how to make it look beautiful, and he talks a lot about how he insisted on, like, the boat has to be a character, so they must build the boat. It cannot be a CGI boat. It cannot be a set. Like, it has to be a fucking boat. And this, like, one of the most striking scenes to me is like when he has the monster like in sort of the fetal position up on the table, and he's doing experiments on him. He sees the spine, and Mia Goth comes in, and she's sort of talking about how like beautiful it is, and I'm like, this is like
the scariest thing I've maybe ever seen.
right, but also like this is Del Toro's like playground. Like, this is filming that, he was like, oh, they'll move the body a little bit more and make more of the spine visible. You can just picture him like
Del Toro impressions.
just enjoying. You could just like, you could just imagine this guy was like a kid in a candy store, just fucking loving making this thing. And I love that he was on, like, I watched him on Jimmy Kimmel. I love that, like, he's the kind of director that goes out. They're not going to send, Oscar Isaac out. They will send Del Toro himself out to do the press. And, there's only a handful of directors that, get to do that kind of thing. And I love that. I'm sad that I didn't get to see it in theaters, but I love that they put it in theaters, even if Netflix is just doing it so they can be eligible for an Oscar.
Yeah.
But
I love what you said. I mean, I didn't not think about it, but like, the creature has the arc of arcs. Like, we start with the end, and it's the most powerful thing we've ever seen version of him. But then we see him as an fucking infant, really, just meek and scared and wimpy and afraid of Victor, and
yeah, it made me think of
can't talk, and just
Shape of Water, where that you feel so bad for the creature, the Gill Man, whatever you want to call him, and you really do feel for him in this movie, and they're just, he's being so shitty to him, and it's like, goddamn, knowing from the beginning that he's gonna get his is a little redeeming,
But also, like, I get it from Victor's, like, he was single-minded, driven for this one thing, and never once considered he's going to be a parent.
Right.
When he's done.
Yeah.
And like, he was not prepared in any way, and it sucked for him. And I mean, yeah.
For me, the story structure was amazing because it opens with, the base, like you said,
Where we're
basically
going.
the end of the film, where the monster has now chased Dr. Frankenstein onto this boat. And it's just such brutality of the monster taking out those sailors, and the monster is so horrible. And as the story unfolds, and Dr. Frankenstein is telling his story, we learned that we also have misjudged the monster, as most characters in this movie do. We saw him as this unstoppable killing machine monster, and then through Victor's side of the story, and then we get the monster's side of the story as well, as that continues on, that we really fall in love with and sympathize so much with the monster more than any of the normal human characters in this movie. And I think that's just utterly genius of Del Toro to tell the story in that manner, because it forces us as the audience to see the monster in one way and then show him in another way, so that we're kind of in the position of the people that are misjudging him throughout this whole movie. So you want to talk about the running time? So I was excited to watch this because I love Del Toro, but I was a bit apprehensive when I saw it was 2.5 hour running time. And I thought, well, maybe I'll fold some laundry to keep myself from getting bored or falling asleep.
How much laundry you got?
So, well, I'll tell you what. I never once touched my laundry.
Yes.
I loved every minute of this film, and now all my clothes are wrinkly.
Yes.
So unlike a lot of films that I feel like are way too long and over 2 hours, This one presents all relative information to the story. There's no filler. There's no slow-mo shots. There's no pausing the story for fancy dreamlike shots that are supposed to further the film's metaphor. It's just pure storytelling and character building. That's how you tell a 2.5-hour story. That's how you keep me engaged. So I'm not anti 2.5-hour movie. I am anti 2.5 hours of fluff with a 30-minute storyline. You got to give me a story to follow and characters to care about. So yes,
Fair. Yay.
2.5 hours of awesomeness, and I could have kept going as well. That's a testament to the writing of this movie and the performances. The performances were great. I didn't realize it did get some theatrical play. I had it in my notes that I feel like the biggest crime in cinema is that this did not play in theaters, because it is so beautiful and cinematic, man. It has to be seen on a big screen. And I'm not just talking about the sets, that boat or any of that, or, the color scheme, but it's even the camera movement. Del Toro knows how to move a camera when doesn't matter if he's doing like an emotional scene or an action scene. I just love his camera movement. Just the fluidity of the way his camera moves, especially in that opening scene when he's just taking out the sailors. It's just masterful. I love it. As far as the look of the monster, I didn't mind it. I liked it better when he had hair, to tell you the truth. Because when he had the trench coat and the hair and everything's just kind of like stringy and laying on top of him and just all this tetheredness, it really reminded me of, like, there's a lot of shots in this movie that I feel like Del Toro was emulating Bernie Wrightson's art when Bernie Wrightson did Frankenstein. And I can almost guarantee that it was the case, because I remember when we saw that Del Toro exhibit several years ago, he had some Bernie Wrightson Frankenstein art in that exhibit. And so there's like literally shots in there, especially when like he is hiding in the I don't know, that little whatever that place is where he's hiding out in the blind man's house and just kind of watching through the walls, and like when he goes to sleep at night and he's got all the rats crawling all over him. That's really reminded me of some shots from the Bernie Wrightson comic. But I just gotta also say, how many successful films does fucking Del Toro have to make before studios trust him to do whatever he wants? Like, again, this should have played in theaters for months before it hit Netflix. I'm sorry,
but Netflix wants you to pay for their service to get it.
Yeah, I know but again, it's a crime that not everybody got to see this in the theater. Man, the violence was so freaking awesome.
Oh,
some
my
cool
gosh.
gore. When the one dude falls down the thing and splats, but then when the doctor
lifts
goes
up
down,
his head. Oh my! I about
lifts
threw
up the
up.
head, and it's just like goo.
That's impossible.
How can a film be so cinematic, so beautiful, so elegant, so cultured, and then still present shit like
Some of the grossest things.
Del Toro, baby.
Yep. If there's one man that could do it, it's Del Toro.
Winning Oscars was head splatters. He won Best Picture with a fish fucking movie. Come on.
That's right.
Hell
That's
yeah.
right. There for a while when the Mia Goth and Frankenstein monster scenes, I'm like, oh, does this Del Toro just want to make movies where all the monsters get lucky?
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, 100% loved it. Probably going to hear about it again soon in the next couple episodes of the show.
Yeah.
So, Phyllis,
if I had any nitpicks,
I've got one.
I know I'm about to say something sacrilegious, so please hear me out.
Okay.
I'm not saying I don't like Mia Goth. I'm not saying she's not a great actress. I just wasn't sure that she fit in this. I don't know.
In which role? Because she plays two.
What's her other role?
In the Elizabeth role.
She played like the mom too. Let me look it up here. She did the whole like X thing where she's playing two roles and you don't realize it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it.
Well, the main one is Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know.
I kind of agree
She's
with you,
great,
but I
Victor's
kinda,
mother. She also plays Victor's mother.
Who died in the beginning,
Yeah.
giving birth to Felix.
Gotcha. Okay. I agree with you, Jason, but I wasn't going to say anything because I thought it was just me because I see her and I can't look past like Pearl and X and Maxine.
Well, she did
And so-
good.
She did good.
It's just a casting
Just
thing.
looks
It's
too
not
sinister to me anymore.
I don't know. Yeah.
To me, it was like maybe it's too obvious. Like she
Right.
just is. I mean, she's literally me a goth, you know, and she has she's no eyebrows, and I'm like, I mean, is it perfect casting or too perfect casting? Where it's like give someone else a chance. I don't know.
And then my other minor nitpick, and I feel bad. It's like I felt like there were accent inconsistencies,
Oh, if there was, I didn't
but that's good.
catch it. Yeah. My only complaint was the CGI wolves. It's just,
Yeah.
Oh, it was fine.
it's
I was thrown
fine,
off
but
by
just-
them
it
because
just-
of all of his talk. Like he's been every interview talking about like no AI, no CGI, all practical where he can building the boat, and then I see these wolves right away, and I'm like,
Well, you dirty dog.
and that no pun intended. And that's okay. And I'm not saying the CGI was bad, but it takes me out of it when you got like wolves doing parkour. It just they just are moving in a way.
Just relax your imagination. a
Don't
little.
even
Come
start
on.
that. Come on.
Just
You can nitpick me a goth, but I can't nitpick fucking CGI wolves. I got it.
it has. Yeah, I'll save. I have a wolf comment later.
I mean, it was still a cool scene, especially. Oh my god, gut wrenching! Like when he comes back
Well,
and the
the-
wolves have broken into the
The
house.
scene with the guy is always
Yeah.
going to be the best scene in this story, and it just proved it again.
And you get a little cool action there where he fights off the wolves, which is neat. But
I'm like, don't kill the dogs.
and he just rips that one's jaw in half. Yeah,
Right. Yep.
No, but and the whole time you're sitting there watching him comfort this dying blind man. You're just thinking, oh, the family's going to show up. The family's going to show up.
Sure enough.
And sure enough, yeah, the hunters show up and it all goes to shit. Trivia.
There's tons of it on here too. Director Guillermo del Toro wanted Victor Frankenstein to appear less like a scientist and more like a rock star, citing David Bowie, Mick Jagger, and Prince as influences on Oscar Isaac's performance.
Nice.
Andrew Garfield was originally cast as the monster, but had to drop out due to scheduling conflicts last minute. He was replaced by Jacob Elordi in the role. The makeup team spent 9 months crafting Garfield's look as the monster, but only had 2 weeks to rework it for Elordi in time for filming.
Oh, no.
I think
I
he did a really
loved
good
it.
job.
Yeah, I
liked
think
it.
it was amazing.
I don't know if Garfield would have the Garfield's great, but he's not
Buff enough. to-
towering. Yeah, Elordi's
Yeah.
like a big, strong dude. And I think when it comes to this, at least this version of the character, it's more like you want someone more sort of hulking and imposing. And honestly, sort of surprised that. And there was a little bit of trivia in there about, oh God, what's his name? That's in all of that we all expected to play the monster. He's in every one of Del Toro's movies as the monster.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, always wearing makeup.
Tall, skinny,
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus.
Oh my
Jesus,
God.
why is that?
I'm gonna pull it up right
audience
now.
is yelling at us immensely right now.
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones. God
Yeah.
dang it.
Surprised he
Most
didn't.
generic name ever. You think you could remember Doug
Right.
Jones.
And then to get a good visual, and you'll love this one, to get a good visual and feel of what the monster's supposed to look like, they had printouts of artist Bernie Wrightson's illustrations of the monster lining all the trailers. Jacob Elordi followed suit by having Wrightson's illustrations lining his apartment. He wanted to look at it and be immersed in the imagery of the monster drawn by Bernie. He says,
Boom. Validated. Thanks.
He says, I turned it into a shrine to all things that I felt pertained to the creature. He goes on to state, Bernie's pictures were all over the walls. Maybe when you're asleep or just walking around all of it, you end up soaking it in. So yeah, of course. Validated.
Boom, called it.
And that's what I have for trivia.
Excellent. Let's rank these motherfuckers here.
That's tough.
Yeah? You guys got to think about it for a minute?
No, I
Okay.
got it.
Okay, Jason, go ahead.
Del Toro's Frankenstein,
Boom.
Poor Things, Bride of Frankenstein.
Okay.
Best to worst, or
Best to worst.
Tad?
this is tough. I would say my favorite. I have to go with Jason the same way, and that's tough because even the worst is still great.
Yep.
Like these are three of the best Frankenstein stories ever. So
Yeah, for me, it's number one with a bullet, Del Toro's Frankenstein. But I put Bride as second and Poor Things third.
They're all good.
They're all great.
Did
though.
good
Yep.
on this one.
Thank you. Best kill.
I'm cheating on this one, but I got two answers.
All right, go ahead.
First answer is from Tiffany. She said she felt bad for the wolf, obviously. But she liked when he grabbed the wolf and just peeled his fucking head back off, just scalped his ass.
Yeah.
Felt bad for the dog. Mine was just that I couldn't narrow it down, but and it's a cheat, but I love the beginning of Frankenstein where we get to see so much power. And what I love about how Del Toro did it is like he made him so strong, but it wasn't over the. I mean, it was a lot, and it's something we would never see in our reality, but it was still realistic enough. But it was so powerful. But it wasn't like Superman throwing somebody against the. Like it wasn't comic book. It's still everything had weight. His strength was so incredible to even be able to move that boat kind of stuff. Like I just loved that him charging the boat and just taking everybody out and just it was so wonderfully choreographed and he just was unstoppable, like you said. And I loved that so much. Just experiencing the power that Frankenstein's monster had.
Absolutely. Tad, what's your favorite kill?
I'm trying to remember which character was it. Christoph Waltz that went down,
Yep.
fell down the big well and went splat. That was just fucking
Oh,
cool
my
and
God.
brutal. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that.
It was hard hearing him say that telling him he had to say no. I mean, it made sense. He was dying of syphilis and couldn't contaminate. But you're like, no, that makes sense. That's a good idea. You're the money guy, and you should get to be part of this. But
I'm sorry. If it was me and I'm right in the middle of the
sure.
big main experiment and he's saying, hey, you got to put
Here's
my
my
brain in it,
favor.
I'd be like, all right, great. Let's do this first. And then push him down a well. I don't know, but like, let's at least finish exactly this moment first. Lie to the guy. Who cares? Anyway, my favorite kill is from that opening, but I picked one in particular, and that is when Frank walks up to that guy and just punches him in the face, and the guy bends backwards.
and it falls on his upside down head and rolls out of it. Holy shit, that was amazing.
So freaking awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Just to bend a guy in backwards by a punch in the face. Jason couldn't do that. He just punches guys' heads off.
Yeah, he's too strong.
Yeah.
Stronger than Frankenstein.
I don't know.
I just love that he's like basically. I mean, it's sort of crazy, but it's like this does sort of remind you of like a Jason, where it's like he's unstoppable and everybody's terrified of him. They take the ladder and he's like, "Fuck you! I'll just tip your fucking boat, motherfuckers." And the only way they're like shoot the ice around him, he falls in, and then they're like, he's Victor's still like he's not dead. He's still coming for us. Like he's unstoppable.
I mean, I'm going to admit, maybe I'm just dumb or I just never paid attention, but like, I mean, obviously, I don't know. This is the first time I even considered the fact that he couldn't die because he just came back. He just keeps coming back.
Literally is undead.
That seemed new to me. I might just be dumb and not paying attention.
I get what you're saying because
It's
I
just that
kind of
part of it.
I kind of not going to say I felt the same way, but it
Makes-
felt like a newer idea to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So I don't know if that's that way in the original book or not, but it felt like over the past, 20, 30 years, that's especially like in the world of comic books, that has really been added to the mythology of it. So if you like watch Creature Commandos, Frankenstein's monster is one of the main characters in it, and he was created back in Victorian, Frankenstein era, but then is still living and moving around in modern day because why? Because he's unkillable, and it always felt like it was more of a comic book idea than the actual book idea, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe it has been around forever and we just never realized it, or I don't know. Anywho, yeah, so we're going to take a break. Don't worry, there's still more Attack of the Killer podcasts to come. First, you're going to hear a promo from our podcast network called the Prescribed Films Podcast Network. The PFPN is home to so many amazing shows, such as Earbuds. Two lifelong friends, two greatly different tastes in music. What could go wrong? Each episode, comedians Joey and Landon take turns choosing a favorite album for each other to listen to. You can check out Earbuds and all the other shows at thepfpn.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to the show, guys. So what should we do now? Oh, I know. Here's Jason with shout-outs.
It's time for shout-outs! 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 Shout-outs!
All right, we asked, what are your favorite Frankenstein movies? And here are your answers. We'll start over in the Attack of the Killer Podcast Facebook group, the group edition. We got the Reebster. Mike Reeves up first says, pretty much all Hammer Frankenstein movies with Peter Cushing, as well as the Al Adamson classic Dracula versus Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And, of course, Lady Frankenstein.
Oh.
Nice.
Without Brian Clark, you'll have to say, fuck yeah. I can't do his voice, but
It's a little lower, but it's good.
fuck yes.
And then we got Attacker Tim Letterer says, Son of Frankenstein from the original Universal run. The Evil of Frankenstein's A Hoot from Hammer. And Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein is one of the funniest goddamn movies ever.
Hell yeah.
Of ever, he says. Also, a hat tip to Bride of Reanimator for having a composite body built out of spare parts in it. What do you do after you've conquered death itself? Keep practicing and working out new ideas, of course. And then in the comments, Josh Ramos, he says, I'll second Bride of Reanimator. And then goes on to say, Young Frankenstein would probably be my favorite. I'll also give a shout out to Frankenhooker.
Woo!
Since I finally got to see it for the first time when Film Scene showed it last year. Ooh, fun. Yeah. Absolutely loved it. Well worth the 30 or so year wait after I first heard about that movie in a horror trivia book that my middle school library had. Cool school.
I love that you got to see it for the first time in the theater.
Oh,
So,
man.
no
Lucky
shit.
you.
Very lucky.
Over on our Facebook page, we got attacker Casey Kelderman says, it's hard to choose because Frankenstein is the greatest story ever told. Mm-hmm. My Mount Rushmore of Frankenstein movies would be Bride of Frankenstein, Young Frankenstein, Frankenhooker, and Frankenweenie.
All great picks.
That is good. And we got attacker Jacob McLaughlin says, the original Karloff movie was one of the most formative movies for me growing up. I never related to the handsome movie star, but the monster is a character who I have related to throughout so much of my life. Son of Frankenstein is a Halloween tradition for me and my favorite Universal monster movie overall. And Guillermo del Toro's adaptation is already many meaningful things to me. It's the definitive adaptation of my favorite book, a staggeringly incredible piece of art in motion, and an extension of my love for the original film and novel. I'm so grateful that I got to see it in a theater and my favorite movie of the year. Oh, man. It might be. So happy you got to see it in the theater. That's cool.
That's super lucky and awesome.
Then we got Attacker Rose Talashoma says, not a movie, but Penny Dreadful, the series, had a decent Frankenstein monster and Victor Frankenstein. I loved it. I always wanted to watch that show.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
I never.
Always heard great things about it.
Yeah.
And then we got a comment over on Instagram from @EVRUN42. That's Evan Runkle, folks.
Oh, Evan!
Oh.
And he's got, a new comment we haven't heard yet. His favorite is Lisa Frankenstein.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's another
Love
good
it.
one. Yes.
Love it. Well, that's all we got today, but if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do that. It's really easy. You can call us at 415-952-6857. That's 415-95-AOTKP. Leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on the show. And that's shout-outs. Tad, are you going to sing a song to introduce Mike?
Nope.
Oh, man. Well, okay then. I was thinking about it, but I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Damn it.
All right, well, we're not done yet. One more segment to go. Here's Mike with Insane's Picks.
I've known you for years and years and years. The musician, I can never get to randomly sing.
I couldn't reach my guitar.
With that. All right, so Assignment Terror is a 1970 Spanish, West German, Italian production that has more titles than countries of origin. Also known as Dracula vs. Frankenstein, Monster Panic, Frankenstein vs. the Bloodsucker, Monsters of Terror, and The Reincarnator. Taking from the same book as the Plan 9 came from, an alien scientist and his team are sent to Earth from their dying planet to exterminate the human race by unleashing all monsters. Monster Squad has nothing on this lineup of creepy creatures. There's a vampire, Frankenstein's monster, a werewolf, and even a female mummy. When you have a part Spanish production and you also have classic monsters involved, you know Paul Naschy is going to be sneaking around somewhere. And yes, Paul, of course, plays the werewolf in the film, but he also wrote the screenplay. The original shooting title was Man Who Came from Yumo, which is, I believe, the alien planet that the aliens come from in the movie. But the producer changed it to Monsters of Terror at the end of production. The overall filming suffered many, many problems. The movie was interrupted due to financial difficulties, causing the film to not be shot as it was written. At one point in the script, there was a whole scene involving flying saucers and a golem. Naschy had also said that the makeup man on the film was the most incompetent man he had ever worked with. The makeup of Frankenstein, he says, was so similar to the Universal classic that they could easily have caused a lawsuit. I don't know about that. Despite its production flaws, it's still a very fun movie where you get to see your favorite monsters go head-to-head with each other. So definitely check out, it's on Tubi, Assignment Terror.
Cool.
And there you have it, folks. Real quick, on that Mount Rushmore of Frankenstein films, on the Frankenhooker part, is there a button underneath it that when you push it, it says "Want a date" like the old VHS box?
Geez,
I wish. I hope so. That concludes another episode of Attack of the Killer podcast. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you learned a thing or two about yourselves. If you want more Attack of the Killer podcast, you can check us out on X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Discord. Go to jointheattackers.com and be an attacker. Go to the pfpn.com and check out all the other shows. And also leave us reviews wherever you can leave reviews for our show, like, for example, Apple Podcast. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll talk to you next time on Attack of the Killer podcast.
Oh no, could this be the end of? Attack of the Killer Podcast.